You may think that music is a luxury, a plug-in to make human life more enjoyable. It's fine if you think that, but our hunter-gatherer ancestors wouldn't agree with you. To them, music was much more than mere ear candy. It was a matter of life and death. You don't believe me? Let me take you back to 32,000 BC, to the Stone Age cave paintings in Chauvet, France. The people who painted them may have used singing as a life-saving form of sat-nav, a bat-like type of sonar to help you find where you were in the labyrinth of caves. In 2008, acoustic scientists made the extraordinary discovery that the Chauvet paintings, which lie within huge, inaccessible, pitch-black networks of tunnels, are located at the points of greatest resonance in the networks, so that singing would carry throughout the whole subterranean system from these special points, echoing and ricocheting. We also now know that music played an important part in Paleolithic rituals, since whistles and flutes made out of bones have been found in many of these caves. From these dusty artefacts would one day grow Duke Ellington's horn section and the massed ranks of the Dagenham girl pipers. By the time that tribal communities began settling in one place and farming, between 9,000 and 7,000 BC, we know that music had become an essential activity. As well as helping along the rhythm of work, music was seen as something potent, magical, and if the mood required, seductive. And yet we've absolutely no idea what the music of these ancient societies actually sounded like. Because they couldn't write their music down, it has disappeared completely. There's no surviving video, no sheet music, no Pythagorean MP3, not a note of it. A few ancient instruments have been dug up, mind. These ones are called lures. A set of 6 lures were excavated in a field in Denmark in 1797, now known as the Brudervelter lures. They were perfectly preserved in a peat bog for 2,500 years and are still playable today. These two are replicas. Lures are so famous in Denmark, they've even had a butter named after them. These lures may look a tad unwieldy, but in terms of technology, they're a long way from being some hollowed-out piece of fruit or a drum knocked up from a clay pot. What they tell us is this. It's a grave error to describe what musicians were up to in 800 BC as primitive. Making these elaborate brass instruments could only have been the handiwork of culturally sophisticated people. Remember, these lures were made and played nearly 1,000 years before the building of Hadrian's Wall. We don't know what the Bronze Age Scandinavians played on their lures, but it was probably meant to be scary.